Okay, so I know this is kind of weird. There is a logic to how I'm doing these. I did the royal families, then I did the retainers. Now I'm doing a set of each of the other path exclusive characters, and then I'll do the shared path characters. So this is Hayato. So Hayato is from the Wind tribe. So the Wind tribe is a group of diviners. Diviners are the Hoshido equivalent of a mage. The Japanese don't use magic in the traditional sense. They use inner spiritual powers. So diviners fulfill the same function as a mage. The sage-like class in this game is... I'm trying to remember what does a diviner become. A diviner becomes a Bazara or a basically the equivalent of a bishop. So one of their upgrades can use staves and scrolls. The other one can use scrolls and naganitas. I generally speaking give him the staves because those are more useful. So diviners are basically magic users. So he is the most powerful magic user of his tribe, and he was adopted by the childless chief of the Wind tribe and named his successor because of his great powers after his parents tragically died when he was very young. He has an inferiority complex that comes with being the most powerful diviner in his tribe while also being basically a kid. And they're reluctant to bring him along, and so he's kind of develops an extremely aggressive kind of attitude and tries to act like an adult. He loves candy and sweets and milk and that kind of thing, but tries to hide it because he doesn't want people to kind of realize how young he is and to look down upon him, which is kind of the issue with being so powerful but so small, I guess. And that's kind of his character. And like I said, that's kind of the basis of his inferiority complex, which is kind of a thing in his character. I personally like Hayato. He's not a bad character to play with. I really like his support with Sakura, because they're both young, they're both royalty, and they both aren't really taken seriously. And what tends to happen is they both kind of realize that they can... that being an adult isn't just acting mature, it's kind of something deeper, and they start kind of having tea parties and candy together and agree to get married when they're older. His thing with Azura is a bit like that. Basically, he just because he had spent all his life with the Wind tribe and he was just happy to kind of get out and see more of the world. His romance with Orochi is pretty cute, as they can kind of like teach each other how to use magic better. Overall, Hayato kind of really reminds me of Rinkah from the previous game, Fire Emblem Awakening. He's kind of a young, talented mage who hasn't really been exposed much to the world and is trying to live up to a legacy that he doesn't quite fit into. Nevertheless, it does have an element of wish fulfillment as he goes after all these hot older women. So yeah, Hayato's not a bad character. I normally do play with him, actually. For Rinkah, I don't know. I just call her Rin. Another kind of interesting character. I like her, actually. I like her design. I always like when they kind of make an attractive female character, but in kind of an unconventional way. It's an interesting combination of kind of like ashen skin, white hair. Also, she has a very interesting body type. Probably a little more realistic for a female warrior. She's immensely kind of muscular and very skinny, but very well built at the same time. And she just binds herself, which is what female warriors would probably do. So she is the princess of the Flame Tribe. The Flame Tribe is extremely traditional. They're also very isolationist. So she's extremely cold, which is in part because she was raised to be a warrior, and raised to just fight and to do not a lot else, but also because she's taught to not interact much with the outside world. Um, so yeah, the clan basically says you have to isolate from the outside world. You can't talk with people who aren't part of the clan. You can't bring back new ideas or anything. And to that end, she acts really cold and remote. Is she actually cold and remote? She's very hot-headed. She's quite a temper, and she's very kind of aggressive. But she's also an exceedingly honorable and brave person, and strong-willed, and impatient. She basically is fire, but people like Kaze can manage to cool the flames and get a bit closer to her. Then we have Orochi, which is another one of people's favorite characters, because like Kaguro, she actually is quite well endowed, shall we say. So she's another diviner. Her conversation with Hayato is actually really cute. So she was actually a retainer of the queen. The queen of Hoshido, and when the queen died, she lost kind of her raison d'etre and just kind of joins your army. She has a very calm and old-fashioned manner of speaking, very kind of overly formal. She's exceedingly girly. She's very competitive about her medical and magical skills. One of her big thing is fortune telling. She really likes fortune telling, and she's actually quite good at it. So she likes cats, she hates rats, and she likes alcohol. So she has kind of a strange sense of humor. She's a kind of an enigmatic character, but one who's kind of fun. In my Hoshido game, one time I went as a mage, so I romanced her, and it was just kind of weird. She's kind of a difficult character to really kind of get a handle on. Her magic is a lot higher than Hayato's, but her physical defense is much lower. So those are kind of the minor Hoshido characters. We'll do the minor Noir characters next.